English elephants camouflaging military equipment. Wedding bikini 1906 dates. On September 24, 1954, on the shores of Lake Lucerne, in the Swiss town of Bergenstock, Audrey Hepburn got married. Two clowns. Jersey Rungle standing on top of an aeroplane while it's in flight, 1921. A technician pokes deep into the mouth of a 6-foot-tall plaster head at the Cologne Health. Asara warriors in 1970. This Papuan tribe has worn terrifying clay masks since ancient times. The torpedo gas with a duralumin body based on the Pobeda could reach speeds of 190 km per hour, 1951. Alberto Granado and Ernesto Che Guevara on the Mambotango raft, San Pablo, Loreto Province, Peru, June 1952. The world's smallest Sinclair microvision television with a 2-inch screen, London 1966. A street performer wrestles a bear, around 1951. A child pumps water using a hand pump, USSR. Paul McCartney and his dog Martha in 1967. A woman looking for her family writes a message in Berlin, 1945. After their homes were destroyed, many left notes in the ruins so others would know where to find them. The St. Louis, Missouri Gateway Arch at 639 feet was finished in 1965. Elizabeth Taylor at age 19, 1951. Gypsy Rose Lee, 1950. Michael Jackson's 6th grade class photo at Gardner Street Elementary School in Los Angeles, 1969. Package sets of billiard balls made of ivory. Soviet soldiers holding a cat in Stalingrad, 1942. The Austrian president inspects troops. L-335 tankettes are in the foreground. 1930X. In the USSR during the 1970s, registry offices often drew large crowds of couples eager to formalise their unions. This photo captures a busy waiting room packed with brides and grooms. A Soviet female sniper trains partisans, 1943. Men enjoying a final round of drinks on the eve of Prohibition, 1920. A last taste of legal alcohol before the nationwide ban took effect in the United States. James Hetfield, Fred Durst, Marilyn Manson, Ozzy Osbourne. Madonna in 1976, before she moved to New York City and hit it big. The 33-carat Krupp diamond, later renamed the Elizabeth Taylor diamond, was given to her by her husband, Burton, in 1968. A teenage Ed Kemper. Astronaut John Glenn and President John Kennedy inspect the Friendship 7, the Mercury capsule which Glenn rode in orbit. Kennedy presented the Distinguished Service Medal to Glenn on February 23, 1962 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet on the set of Titanic, 1996. Ford Model T Snowmobile 1922. (1920) Mita Taupopoki, leading chief of the Ngati Wahiau tribe and veteran of the New Zealand colonial wars, serving on the government's side wearing traditional Maori attire. United States President Ronald Reagan meeting with Senator William Cohen and a 42-year-old Senator Joseph Biden. Eastern Poland, a railcar with a sail. Baby armadillo photographed by Dora Maar, 1936. Slinky creator plays with his son Thomas Richard James, Philadelphia, 1945. Judge R.N. Stevens reading the Declaration of Independence to a crowd during the July 4th celebration, Nome, Alaska, 1901. Gary Oldman and Natalie Portman on set of Leon the Professional, 1994. Writer Edward Limanoff in an advertisement for a dental clinic mid-1990s. Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell on the set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. A roller skate race, 1923, France. Cobblestone pavement destroyer, Moscow, 1930s. Japanese sailors lined up in the shape of a chrysanthemum. The imperial seal of Japan is a symbol in the form of a 16-petal chrysanthemum. NES-based arcade machine, 1980s. Fire in the Call building in San Francisco caused by an earthquake, 1906. (1914) French crossbowmen in World War I. Crossbows were actively used during that war, primarily for throwing grenades into enemy trenches. Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, 1958. South African Defence Force medics try to revive an enemy Swapo guerrilla, Southwest Africa, 1980s. Children in military uniform, 1937, Japan. Robert Downey Jr. and Sarah Jessica Parker, both 23, in 1988. Dentistry in the 20th century. Delivery of the Kolskaya 20 drilling rig to the drilling site USSR, 1985. Jean-Paul Belmondo with chickens. The winner of Miss Indian America, 1954. Ernest Hemingway loved cats and named all his pets after famous people. The cat in the photo is named Christopher Columbus. Sexy cigarettes, 1950s. Claudia Cardinale, 1962. Flood on the Neglinaya River, 1959, Moscow. A police officer displays the rifle used to assassinate United States President John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas, November 22, 1963. A lone South African communist in the street calls on South African police cavalrymen to shoot him during the early stages of the communist white supremacist Rand Revolt, 1922, South Africa. Russian constitutional crisis, Moscow, 1993. The Signal Hill oil field in Southern California, 1937. Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford behind the scenes of Star Wars. Construction of the Empire State Building. Katie Sandwinner, Lady Hercules. Russian soldier burning useless Soviet banknotes for warmth, Chechnya, 1995. Joe Tejada in 1958, later known as Raquel Welch, before she was reconstructed by Hollywood. Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan and Macaulay Culkin, 1990s. Kurt Cobain, 1992. White House Dogs, 1929, Washington. Marilyn Monroe in 1951. Al Gore, circa 1970. Partisan Madonna, 1942. Marilyn Monroe at a charity event, 1955. Carrie Fisher, behind the scenes of Star Wars. Old School DJ Setup 70s. An Israeli family during the Gulf War, Ramat Gan, Israel, 1991. Pamela Anderson, 1981. John Fitzgerald Kennedy poses on the lawn outside the Kennedy family home in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, circa 1932 at around age 15. A boy transports a folding boat on his bicycle, 1916. Photographer J. Massell among his Kodachrome slides, 1982. Alaska, Nelly, 1913 to 1920. David Bowie and his wife on a walk, 1971. Italian soldiers on a platform for firing rockets at enemy aircraft, Venice, 1915. Men's hairstyle from the 1970s. Dolly Sisters, 1920s. When Paris turned into a Venetian canal during the Great Flood of 1910. A fuel pump from a German V-2 rocket that fell on the London area, 1944. Three people sit on the roof of a claim shack somewhere on the Great Plains in the American Midwest, early 1910s. The structure, partly walled in tar paper, served to lay claim to a land parcel, around 160 acres, farmed by a homesteader. In 1956, the Montan family of four made an extraordinary 12,000-mile journey from Sydney to Paris on a single Lambretta Lambro 150 FD three-wheeled scooter. Woman with a model of an atomic cloud, 1950. Active from 1895 to 1896, the Rufus Buck Gang, composed of Black and Creek Indian members, committed a series of crimes in Indian Territory near Oklahoma. Electric tractor from the early 1950s, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. A holidaymaker on Barry Island sleeps in his deck chair as the tide comes in, Cardiff, Wales, 1936. One of the first public demonstrations of a computer mouse graphical interface, windowing system hypertext and text editor, 1968. National Headstand Week, 1940, United States. Young Ornella Muti. A group of people engaged in topographic surveying during the Wild West. The remote-controlled robot STR-1 takes part in the liquidation of the consequences of the Chernobyl disaster, 1986, Pripyat. Outlaws Motorcycle Club of the American Midwest, 1960s. citizens helping each other when the Berlin Wall finally fell in November 1989. The most beautiful girl in the entire universe was first chosen in 1952. In 1942, Mickey Rooney married Ava Gardner. Spice Girls goofing around on Venice Beach, 1996. English actress Diana Dawes arrives at the Venice Film Festival on a gondola wearing a mink bikini. 1955. A quackital Indian collects shellfish in Washington, 1910. The Kennedy children sit aboard a boat on the shore of Sandy Beach in Cohasset, Massachusetts, sometime in 1923 or 1924. The explosion of China's first hydrogen bomb on June 17, 1967. Chinese soldiers, holding malquotations, welcome China's entry into the club of countries possessing thermonuclear weapons. Police Sergeant Virtue stops a stolen car, 1988. Probably the first ever photo of a Cat 1870 Harry Pointer. James Naismith was a Canadian physical education teacher who invented basketball in 1891. In this 1928 photo, he plays basketball with his wife, Maud. Test driving a BMW Isetta, a mini car from 1955. A Beverly Hills, DC 2 police robot enters service August 18, 1982. School children in besieged Leningrad assemble machine guns for the front at the Linotype plant, 1942. First Lady Betty Ford holding Misty, while the puppy attempts to eat Christmas tree decorations, 10 November 1975. Office of the Future, New York World's Fair, 1964. Soviet filmmaker Sergei Eisenstein posing on an echinocactus, 1930-1931. Andrei Chikatilo was a Soviet serial killer nicknamed the Red Ripper, who murdered at least 52 women and children between 1978 and 1990. President Reagan's visit to Congress Heights Elementary School in 1984. Tanks at the Government House, Moscow, 1993. Hair removal device from 1948. Raquel Welch yearbook photo.